Shimita. I'm the president of the Rutgers Intellectual Property Law Society. And on behalf of Rutgers IPLS, I welcome you to tonight's 2014 IPLS Symposium, Meet and Greet. If you're able to attend the panel portion of the symposium, I hope it was informative for you. It was for me. And this portion of the event is supposed to be mostly a networking event. So we hope that you're able to establish some new relationships and rekindle some of the old ones that you have. We do have a very special celebration that we want to share with you all because you're here right now. So we will take some time out for that. But before that, I want to thank all of the attorney, faculty, students, and alumni for attending our event and supporting the growth of IP law here at Rutgers Newark. Thanks to our co-sponsors for making tonight's event financially possible. Special thanks to New Jersey Intellectual Property Law Association for bringing their Young Lawyers Networking event to our law school. So this is a joint event with NJIPLA. And now I invite Melissa Thompson, the chair of the NJIPLA Young Lawyers Committee, to say a few words. Melissa.
And just thank you for including us. This was a great opportunity. We just started the Young Lawyers Division of NJIPLA last year. This is our second event, really, and we are hoping to grow it. So when you guys are all done, graduating, please join. We'd love to have more young lawyers and really expand the networking opportunities for young lawyers when they graduate. So thanks for coming out, and we look forward to seeing you.
Thank you. We really value this relationship with NJIPLA, and we really hope that it only grows. So at this law school, we frequently honor distinguished individuals from the legal community who deserve to be honored. Tonight, we're honoring one such deserving individual. However, this one is very special to us because he's one of our very own. He is a Rutgers Newark alum. He has been teaching at this law school for over 2 decades.
No way.
He has provided extraordinary leadership to IPLS as a faculty advisor, and he has promoted many other student organizations at this law school. He genuinely cares about his students and their successful practice of intellectual property law. Because of all this, tonight's special honor for stellar leadership in IP law goes to none other than our very own Professor John R. Kettle III. So tonight we have with us Dean Chen, who has worked with Professor Kettle for, I believe, all those 2 decades. So I invite Dean Chen to introduce tonight's honoree. Thank you, Dean Chen.
Thank you all. It is great to see so many of our students, alumni, and colleagues at the bar here tonight for this wonderful IP event. It's my special privilege to congratulate and present the award to my friend and colleague John Kettle for his stalwart leadership of the teaching of intellectual property law at this law school for more than 20 years. It is not an exaggeration to say that when I believe I first had Professor Kettle, even as an adjunct, come teach intellectual property law, copyright law, trademark law. Here he was at the time the engine room of our IP faculty. He was our IP faculty at some point. Happily, since then he has been joined by other colleagues, but I don't think it's any exaggeration to say that we could not present an IP curriculum the way we would like to, the way we aspire to, without the continuing efforts of John Kettle, not only in the classroom, where his current copyright course is one of the most popular electives in the law school upper class elective curriculum, but also for the past, you tell me, umpteen years, providing our clinical students with the opportunity to practice IP law in a very practical, clinical setting, which is really quite unique, I think, to be able to have a clinical experience in the transaction setting. And what I know you all know, but we certainly discovered very quickly that having a transactional law clinic that was designed particularly to cater to the needs of nonprofit entrepreneurial corporations, a lot of their work, apart from the basic corporation work, is intellectual property work. And given the amount of assets these days that are intellectual property assets, most of bricks and mortar, I think we're teaching our students through John's leadership very well. I would also say that John is just an institutional leader in this law school, is always willing to do something extra, whatever assignment need be done. There will still come a day, I believe, that the title Dean Kettle may
First name is John.
when some of us are on our rocking chairs. A day which may come sooner than later. One thing that John is always willing to do, all our faculty and colleagues aren't willing to do so, but he especially is willing always to work for the institution, for Rutgers. So it is my great pleasure. I assume there is a piece of tangible expression of our appreciation. Yes. So it is my pleasure to present the Stellar Leadership and Intellectual Property Law Award to my fellow alum of this law school, fellow faculty member, and dear friend, John Kettle.
I've always thought about, an Oscar or an Emmy. This is better, because we did win a couple Emmys recently, right?
I won 2 last night.
Two last night. Rutgers Law School won 2 Emmys.
Which the dean is the executive producer.
Executive producer. And I have to say something about Dean Chen. I know he had a lot of kind things, wonderful things to say about me, but I wouldn't be here getting this but for Dean Chen. He has been my champion here in the law school since day one. When I started teaching on the adjunct faculty, when I was over at Seton Hall and I had a visitorship, he pulled me away. He said, "We want you here." And I didn't think twice about it, being obviously a Rutgers alum of this law school. Look, Seton Hall's a good law school, but when Ron Chen said, "Would you mind joining us as a visitor," back then in I guess that was '99. I started teaching here in '91, so it is definitely over 2 decades worth of being here, sharing with you my passion and love for intellectual property. I actually started with a focus on entertainment law, but a big part of the entertainment law practice, as you know, is intellectual property. Then I found that really IP was where I saw my niche, and my passion started to grow more and more. And whenever called upon to help, it wasn't any bit of difficulty on my part to say yes to Dean Chen when he would have a request, for instance, to cover a class, to offer something, whatever it might be. And as I look out at all of you, and I couldn't be prouder of this moment, and seeing you wearing those tags, the law firms that you're at, where you are in your career, and the students that are soon to be where you are as active members of the practice. I just think it's terrific. You heard me talk during the panel about if you love your work, you never work a day in your life. And let me tell you, I don't work. I don't work, Ron. I don't,
Be careful.
Literally. Especially with budget issues and all. Be careful. But it is a thrill. And look, we're all familiar with the 3-part rule, right? You heard me talk about the 3-part rule, successful practice rule. I got another 3-part rule. And that's the 3-part rule when it comes to public speaking. And I call them the 3 B's. It's be sincere, be brief, be seated. But I won't be seated just yet. and it will be sincere. I thank Renat and the rest of the IPLS. I know we got our executive board members. I can see them over there with Crystal, and we got Megan there. You introduced them already.
I will.
You will introduce everybody. Okay, but Samantha, Craig, Tiffany, and I can go on, but I'm sorry about leaving anyone out. But the fact of the matter is, this is truly, truly an honor to be here. And I would be doing what I'm doing despite anything like this. This is just the icing on the cake. This is just such a wonderful, wonderful thing for me to receive from you. I don't need it to want to continue, but I will because this is my love. This is my law school. You're my family. You heard me talk about family. Every one of you who are out there who have already entered the practice know you can call me at any time if you have a question. Harold, I see you had your hand up. I wish you would have done that during class. But there are those of you that are here, I know because, hopefully not just for me, but for the practice of IP law. But I thank you because I know you're here for me as well. Keep at it. We have a terrific program here. We obviously want to be able to support the NJIPLA and its efforts and all other efforts to advance intellectual property and Rutgers' name in that regard. I know there's so many of you to single out each of you and say something really nice about you. We'd be here all night. Obviously, I can't do that, won't do that. I do want to thank the panel from this morning, especially those who have taken from their work time to come in here and be with us. We do have some alums that are there. I can see Christian right here who was on the panel. Is Joe still here? Joe is still here. Our other panelists, I thank you for being with us today. I think I'm going to probably end here because to spend more time between you and the wine bar and the food just doesn't seem right. With the permission of Dean Chen, I will at this point conclude my thank you. Again, I'm going to proudly display this in my office. I would probably even find a reason to bring it to each class. I think I might find a way of working it into class discussions, so it will go recognized, not unrecognized. And again, I sincerely appreciate it. I sincerely appreciate the love because I feel it in this room, and I know you're here because of that love, not only for me, but for the school and intellectual property. Again, thank you, thank you, thank you. I am now going to do that third B, and that is be seated.
Thank you,
by the
Professor
way,
Kettle.
I'm sorry. My daughter's telling me, this is Alexandra, my son Sean, my wife Melody. I remembered your names. That it's also, I'm able to do what I'm doing because they allow me to do that. They give me the time, they give me the support to what I'm doing. So family is very important, as you know, and I also have to recognize and thank my family for allowing me to be there. Is that all right?
Thank you, Dean Chen, and thank you, Professor Kettle. All of you who had Professor Kettle's class, we know we love Professor Kettle, so shout out for that. There's a little bit of an impromptu portion of this program. I was told that at previous meet and greet, people from the guests have come up here and gave 2 minutes each. So I'm going to ask Joe here from Wolf and Sampson to come up here and give us a few words. So actually Joe's idea.
This is, I'm not too far removed from a lot of you here, my classmates Nicole, Alex. So I was in the same position you're in, a lot of you at school. In 2008 I graduated. And I was a member of IPLS and it helped a lot. I mean, it's just, I've had so much help along the way when I was in, I wasn't born in China, nobody is. I got out of high school as a car mechanic, and that was my path. I came from a blue-collar family. That's what I was going to do. And for some reason, I just realized I wanted to do more. And went to aircraft school, I went to engineering school. In 05, I wound up in law school. And all that experience along the way has helped me, but I've always had someone that gave me advice, and I really want to return that favor because the IPLS group, we didn't have, I wouldn't say we had as nice a setup or a spread, and we did ambush people. We would get people from outside to come in, and we didn't tell them they were going to say anything. And then we just say, oh, could you just give me a couple minutes about what it's like. So that's me. I've had a lot of help, and I'm here to answer any questions anybody has about career path, just really anything. And I guess if there was one piece of advice I could give, IP, the group is small. Don't burn any bridges. Everybody knows everybody else. The people I met at meet and greets for IPLS, I've worked with, I'm still in touch with. They may have been more senior than me. Some people I met are now junior to me. It's a small world, so just be nice to everybody. Remember, keep in touch. Thank you.
Thank you, Joe. Before we go back to the food and the wine and the networking, I wanted to say a few things about how far IPLS has come this year. We started with our annual dog and pony show with Professor Kettle's props and introduction to IP. We had our panel with NJIPLA, a patent bar info session with PLI, USPTO information exchange. We participated in Saul Leftwood's moot court competition for trademarks. We had a very popular Halloween bake sale and a Valentine's Day candy grand sale. We revived and expanded our alumni list, which is why we were able to get to many of you here tonight. We brought back an IPLS newsletter, and we launched our own website, which now features more than 10 blogs. Professor Kettle, I know Professor Luxtoga was talking about blogs, and we have blogs from students on this site. Most importantly, though, we launched a brand new mentoring program this year, where we paired up 13 attorneys with students interested in IP law, and we held an amazing reception in February. So we hope to continue this mentoring program, and if any of you are interested in being a mentor, please check at the check-in. We'll have a sign-up sheet. So we really encourage you to participate in this program. And none of these would have been possible without the commitment and hard work from the IPLS board members. So I want to introduce my keyboard and the general board members. So if you guys could come up here, I'm just gonna. You guys can come up here. So as I said, I'm President Rinat Shagita. Craig Drackman, you can just wave your hands. Craig Drackman is the Vice President. Crystal Praise is our Vice President Marketing and Publicity. Samantha Tillotman is our Secretary. Tiffany Foe is our Treasurer. Megan Oduela is our Parliamentarian. And we have a brand new Alumni and Mentoring Chair this year for our mentoring program. So this is Heather Baker this year. She's our Alumni Mentoring Chair. Also, we don't have everybody from the General Board up here, but I'll mention their names. Our Biotech Chair is Paul Soon. Copyright Chair Chip Spahn. New Media and Technology Chair Tamar Perlovian. Patent Chair is Jonathan Wright. And Trademark Chair CUNY Lee. Class reps are evening reps Sabrina Big, 1L rep Melissa Disrotis, and 2L rep Mo Barry. So thank you, and our faculty. The parking vouchers are available at checkout, so if you want to grab one, it's a reduced price parking voucher. So thank you very much for coming, and enjoy the rest of the night. Thank you. You can go back to that.
All right. All right.